Hello and welcome back to Substream News, the weird, the wonderful and the wild, from tech, futurism, dystopia, culture, health, news, all sorts, just from the world this week. I'm Joseph, your presenter, and I'm looking forward to guiding you through another video. Let's go. The first piece of news this week comes out of Russia, where rocket scientists have invented something straight out of science fiction. It's a new rocket built around plasma technology that could blast scientists to Mars in between 30 and 60 days. That's more than twice as fast as current technology would permit. And I think that's exceptional. Yes, guys, it seems that they are really putting the rush in Russians. And how have they done this and built these new rocket engines? It's all to do with magnetic fields, and they shoot hypercharged particles out of the back of these engines at super high speeds, which generates some serious thrust, the kind of speed we've not really seen before. So normal engines max out around 4.5 kilometers per second. That's current spaceship technology. They actually believe that the full capacity of these current plasma engines could be around 100 kilometers per second. So no wonder they think they can get, I guess, astronauts and scientists to Mars in record time. It's all really efficient too, because almost all of the electrical energy gets converted back into motion without overheating the engines and its parts. Now, scientists are testing this out right now in Russia in this huge, giant vacuum chamber that they've built, and this simulates deep space technology conditions, and I'm super interested to see how this goes. It is just a prototype for now, but the new space race of this era could be heating up right now. Guys, I don't have much more to say on this, so I think we should move on to the next story. We are staying up in space for this second story, and it's all to do with Elon Musk and Starlink. It's making big moves in the mobile phone service space, as you know, and over the last 13 months, they have launched 450 direct-to-cell satellites up into space. The big news is that they have partnered with T-Mobile, but we already knew that, and that they were going to cover 500,000 square miles of dead zone. Why is there news? It's because it's finally active, and it only costs an extra $15 a month for US residents who want to make use of the service. So while things are going very well for Starlink, they're not going quite so well for Blue Origin, which is Elon Musk's big rival Jeff Bezos' space company. Actually, unfortunately, Blue Origin is having to lay off 1,000 members of staff, which is about 10% of their workforce. So really a lot of people. Now, CEO of Blue Origin, that's Dave Limp, he said in an email, the company grew too fast and they need to cut bureaucracy and refocus priorities. So I guess it's just some business efficiency measures. But while SpaceX is rocketing ahead, Blue Origin has hit a rough patch. Such is the roller coaster of the new space race. Let's move on to the next story. Guys, it's not quite plasma engines and rocket ships, but the new Powerbeats Pro 2 Apple headphones are coming out. And I know a lot of you probably have an iPhone, some kind of other Apple devices and gadgets, so I thought you probably want to know about this one. The new headphones coming from Apple promise increased sound quality, better battery life, and a smaller case. Now, one of the biggest complaints of the old Apple earbuds was that the case was just too big and too heavy. So I believe it's smaller and is going to weigh about half, which is quite nice. Now, there's a new feature which I think is exceptional. It's that the buds, they're going to be slightly different in design, and that's going to allow them to track your heartbeat. That heartbeat is going to feed back to your health app, and it's going to give you a lot more information about your health and statistics, and yeah, overall will allow Apple to push more services through their health offerings, let's say. The good news is, with this new feature tracking your heartbeat, you can also connect it to external apps, things like Peloton or Nike Plus, Strava, and of course Apple's existing health portfolio. It will also help with ECG readings and sleep tracking and things of that nature. So if you like knowing your own human data metrics to do with your health, which a lot of people do these days, especially Brian Johnson, who we mentioned in a recent episode, if you don't know him, get Googling. If you like all that stuff, you're probably going to want to invest in this new pair. This is part of a new trend, let's say. We're going to be seeing a lot more wearables coming out this year. it's been predicted by some of the biggest tech leaders in the world. They all think wearable technology is the way forward. I've actually just invested in a new wearable myself. It hasn't arrived yet, but I can't wait for it to come. It's a AI pendant necklace and clip that I can wear, which will track my meetings when I tell it to. It will track my voice, create notes, transcripts, whatever I want, send it all to an app, give me advice about how to speak better, to deliver information more properly, more interestingly, and obviously that is beneficial to you, substreamers. If you already like how I talk and deliver the news, of course, you can go down and subscribe. If you're not already, some of you won't be. While you're down there, you can find the video description, and inside the video description you will see all of the links to all of the stories that we cover here on Substream News, because we try to be good digital journalists and share our sources. So if you like that kind of thing, you want to know more about any of these stories, you'll find that right there. Let's move on. Guys, I have another story for you, but it's very brief. I'll keep it down to 3 points. Point number 1. Apple just released a new research paper about interactions between humans and non-anthropomorphic humanoid robots. Very cool. Number 2, unfortunately, it's still in early stages, and so don't expect it to hit the shelves anytime soon. Point number 3 is at the earliest, they're saying 2028 Apple humanoid robots in your home. Tell me in the comments, what should they call them? iPeople? iRobot? iRobot's already taken, that's a movie. Tell me if you've got a better idea. I can't think of one right now. Now, the next story will prove particularly interesting if you like to do things at work that you shouldn't be, like going on websites and apps that you probably shouldn't be while you're at the office. Your employer doesn't like that, and they actually have more tools and tricks to discover what you're up to than you knew about. They're able, using the Wi-Fi, to look at your search history, your visited website history, and more. They can also see when you're inactive on company tools, you know, things like Slack or your intranet, stuff like that. If you're not active, they know about it. So they can actually gain so much data about your efficiency at work that you could be in big trouble. Luckily, there are ways to stop them. I have a quote here from Hayley Tsukayama. She's the Associate Director of Legislative Activism at the digital rights group Electronic Frontier Foundation. What a mouthful. She says there's little transparency. Even figuring out what is on your computer can be a huge step in figuring out how to deal with it. Well, that's part of the problem. There's no foolproof way to know whether you're being monitored at all or how they're doing it. But there are some techniques you could use to gain insight, according to new data from privacy and security experts. It is also a good time to consider locking down your personal communications, because office mandates may take effect that basically block you from talking to people outside the organization when you're at work, and that's because there's a real risk of data leaks. You might think you're talking to a friend, but they may actually be trying to hack the company. It sounds far-fetched, but it happens way more often than you think. So, if you want to know what you can do to protect your personal tech and your work tech, your office gear, from monitoring, tracking, or potentially being hacked and breached by nefarious individuals, go find that link down in the video description and go read that story, because there's a complete step-by-step guide, super helpful, will give you all of the information you need to protect yourself and your company gear. While you're there, of course, click subscribe, smash that like, smash that subscribe, hit the little bell so it ding, 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 ding. Let's go. Good news if you love social media. This is our lighter note. You've made it to the end of the video. TikTok is back in the US. Yes, it's back on Android and Google stores. So if you missed it for the couple of weeks that it was out, congrats, enjoy, and go back to your doom scrolling. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe. Bye for now.